Paul Heyman is the ultimate wild card in the Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa feud, but I feel like a major swerve is incoming. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there is a match scheduled for Raw on Netflix. This is main event WrestleMania worthy. Solo Sikoa versus the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, or in this case, they're going to find out who is the true Tribal Chief because the Ula Fala is on the line. Now, of course, there has been tons and tons of swerves and big moments in the Bloodline saga, but tomorrow night on Netflix, I have a feeling that Paul Heyman is going to shock the world. In fact, I think Paul Heyman will officially betray Roman Reigns. Now, there has been tons of leaks over the course of the last week or so that suggests that The Rock will not be involved at WrestleMania this year. So much so that all of the dirt sheets have reported that CM Punk is expected to wrestle Roman Reigns. Now, I don't want to discredit those leaks because that is always a possibility. But as you guys know, The Rock is the one who is truly in charge. If The Rock wants to show up last minute and do whatever The Rock wants to do, he can do that. Now, people are jokingly stating that The Rock caught wind of these rumors and then he has inserted himself in a spot where, in fact, CM Punk will not fight Roman Reigns, but he will, in fact, fight Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 41. And I think that is a funny joke, but to be honest with you, I could kind of see it being legit, right? And that actually leads me to the major point of this video. Paul Heyman is more than likely going to align with The Rock. And some people are going to say, Ango, how do you know? There has been many moments and different clues and different Easter eggs in the last several months regarding Paul Heyman. And of course, it doesn't really make sense for Paul Heyman to be the guy that aligns with The Rock and the new bloodline, considering the new bloodline took him out. But if you think about it, Paul Heyman could be a mastermind trying to swerve everybody and was willingly able to take that beating just so that way he could swerve everybody. Because if you want to dethrone Roman Reigns, you're going to have to make him weak. So Paul Heyman takes the physical punishment from the new bloodline to make it look like he is still very much part of Roman Reigns' corner. But in fact, he's not actually part of Roman Reigns' corner. We always go back to that moment when Paul Heyman had to make that call and Roman Reigns never answered. And he had two phones and both phones had a case, one for Roman and one for The Rock. So we know that Roman Reigns didn't answer Paul Heyman's call. And we know that Roman Reigns didn't want CM Punk as a part of their bloodline team at War Games. But it was because of Paul Heyman where Roman Reigns did this. And if you actually look at it from a storyline perspective, Roman Reigns still isn't that thoughtful towards the members that helped him, because Roman Reigns doesn't care about the actual bloodline. He doesn't genuinely care about CM Punk or Paul Heyman. All Roman Reigns cares about is being the tribal chief, which is interesting considering that he is a baby face at the moment. He still very much has a lot of his heel tendencies, which has always been about himself. And I think that is enough of a reason for Paul Heyman to be like, nah, I'm with The Rock now. And so, therefore, it makes me really wonder what is WWE's actual plan here. And I think at Raw on Netflix, my bold prediction is that Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns are not walking out with the Ula Fala. It doesn't matter if Roman wins or if Solo wins. I think we see The Rock hit a rock bottom on Roman Reigns and does the people's elbow, takes the Ula Fala off, and has Paul Heyman crown him the tribal chief. And I think that will officially set the tone for WrestleMania 41. Guys, the money is there. You have to do this match. For years and years and years, we have been waiting. You cannot make us wait any longer. And the beauty of this is that with WrestleMania 41 being in Las Vegas, it's the first one with Netflix globally broadcasting it for WWE. So many international viewers will be able to watch it on Netflix. It just makes too much sense for them to go this route. And you could still do John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, and you could still do Seth Rollins versus Gunther. But when it comes to CM Punk, you could figure that out too. And honestly, if you really want, you could do CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Gunther triple threat match. If you want to do a fatal four-way with Drew McIntyre, you can do that as well. I would totally be down for a fatal four-way or a multi-man match for the World Heavyweight Championship. It could even justify Gunther not getting pinned, meaning he could still drop his belt and not being pinned. There's multiple ways to go about it. And here's the really, really good news. If you want to circle back to CM Punk and Roman Reigns, you can do that following Rock and Roman. And I know a lot of people think, well, what about Rock and Cody? Well, I think that is a very big possibility. But if you're going to have John Cena do this farewell tour, it wouldn't be a bad idea for John Cena and Cody to have a babyface versus babyface match. And depending on what night you do it, if you do it, for example, night one, you can always have somebody cost Cody the title, which could be The Rock. And then this allows John Cena to win the belt and Cody not looking weak. And then this could also allow for just so much more down the road between all three. Because I do think at some point you have to have John Cena, Roman, and The Rock in the ring at some point, whether it's a promo segment or a tag team match, or, imagine if Cody and Cody and John Cena were, forget about the championship for a second. Imagine if they were teaming up against the Bloodline in some aspect or whatever it may be. Plus, you got Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre teasing something on SmackDown. You can always do something like that for the Royal Rumble, where John Cena and Cody team up against Owens and Drew. John Cena could enter the Royal Rumble, win the Royal Rumble. Or you can say, forget about the Royal Rumble. John Cena could go to the Elimination Chamber and, punch his ticket into WrestleMania. There's a lot of ways you could go about this, but I think there's so much that you can do with John Cena being in the mix. And then, of course, with The Rock will be there for WrestleMania 41, but we know that there is a huge commitment for The Rock to be in WWE long term. So if you want to do Cody and The Rock at SummerSlam, if you want to do John Cena and The Rock at SummerSlam, whatever it is, like, there's so many different layers to this that they can have. And I think a lot of people will disagree with me fundamentally on maybe Cody Rhodes and John Cena and that booking. But my point that I'm making is John Cena winning the 17th championship of his career, but The Rock was kind of the reason behind it. It gets Rock and Cody back on track, but now John Cena's inserted into the situation, which, by the way, makes a lot of sense. John Cena has a history with Solo Sikoa, right? We saw that match. We saw it go down. So if the new bloodline is associated with The Rock and John Cena's there's a lot of great things that can happen. I think the bloodline stuff will be long-term, but the point remains, none of this can happen without the swerve coming from Paul Heyman. The swerve needs to happen. So I think it does happen. And I think that's a great visual for WWE. And I think it's a really massive statement being made, because now people are going to really wonder, why did Paul Heyman do it? And I think we all know the answer to that. It's not very difficult to find that answer. So this is one of those situations I 100% look forward to seeing what they do. The tribal combat will definitely be messy. I definitely expect it to be messy, but I think this will be a turning point in WWE. This is going to lead to a massive, massive match at WrestleMania 41. Do not extend it. Cody versus Cena, completely fine. And Roman versus Rock. Let's do it, baby. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below.
Turn it up, the Ango show, here we go. Rumor mill spin, every little sin. What's the new fallout? Who took a route out? Fans scream loud, make the show proud. Backstage drama, full of armor. Who's the charmer? Tag teams break dreams. Plots